And joining me now, Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson, member of the Foreign Relations Committee. Thank you so much for joining us, Senator.
Good morning, Kristen.
So just to get you on record, if the vote were held today, how would you vote?
I haven't decided because there's so many unanswered questions. I mean, really, what is the main goal? What are the specific objectives? What are the strategies to achieve those objectives? And then, quite honestly, are we prepared for the repercussions? I mean, I heard the earlier reports. Russians are moving some ships into the Mediterranean. Are we really committed to the fallout from action? So there's so many unanswered questions, and what's unfortunate is I have not heard the administration, for my mind, make the real case of why this is in the national security interests of America. And from my standpoint, it's because of those chemical weapons stockpiles. We have rebel forces now infiltrated by al-Qaeda. What is to happen, or what would happen if those chemical weapons fell in the hands of al-Qaeda-backed rebels? I mean, to me, that's the national security interest, and we're not even addressing it. So there's so many unanswered questions. I can't tell you how I'm going to vote until we have these hearings. I'm heading back to Washington today for the hearings, for the secure briefings tomorrow.
So, Senator, what specifically do you need to hear today that would move you into the yes category?
How about a real strategy? It's something that has been missing. I mean, the problems in Syria, the horrific humanitarian disaster has been occurring now for 2.5 years, and America is basically sat on the sidelines. This president really has not informed the American public about, how this is in the national security interest. So it really is up to the president. He is the commander-in-chief. America is the leader of the free world. He is the leader of America. He has to make that case first and foremost to the American public, and then through the representatives. Because we lost the element of surprise, I think it's appropriate that President Obama now comes to Congress, but he's got to make the case.
You say you question whether or not it's in the national security interest. The administration would argue that the use of chemical weapons violates international norms, and they also would argue that doing nothing would ultimately bolster Iran. So what do you say to those arguments, Senator? Does that not threaten national security interests?
No, like I say, I believe it is in America's national security interest. But again, what is the action and what are the repercussions of those actions? Has this administration thought it out? Will they be committed? I mean, let's go back to Afghanistan when President Obama announced, a surge, but then at the same time he announced withdrawal. I mean, I don't want to see that type of ineffective action that actually makes matters worse. So again, we've got to see the entire strategy. I've got to see that there's a long-term commitment to follow through on whatever the blowback might be of his actions.
Your colleague, Senator John McCain, met with President Obama yesterday. I want to play you a little bit of what he had to say after that meeting and then get your reaction on the other side. Take a listen.
If the Congress were to reject a resolution like this, after the President of the United States has already committed to action, the consequences would be catastrophic.
What's your reaction? Do you agree with that, Senator Johnson?
I certainly agree that President Obama, because he's dithered, has really backed America into a corner. And I'm highly concerned about the loss of credibility by not following through now because of what President Obama has done. So let's face it, I agree the consequences would be extremely harmful to America's interests around the world from this point going forward.
Do you worry that there is a risk in delaying action for too long? And does that not put pressure on you and your colleagues to come to some sort of resolution very quickly?
Had President Obama been decisive, made the action, and taken the action early on, where we still the element of surprise, then I think there would have been a timing element. At this point, because of all the leaks, because he's dithered, I don't see where a couple more weeks is going to be harmful. I think it's actually at this point, helpful if President Obama gets the support, makes the case, gets the support of the American public and of Congress. I think it will strengthen our hand, and I think the result will be better.
All right, Senator Ron Johnson, thank you so much for your perspective this